Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and it's time for some Christmas videos, I think. So today we've got the Polarity Express by Jaxar. Jaxar has not only created a brilliant image of a Christmas tree, but also he's created a decent Sudoku pun based on the title of a very famous Christmas movie, The Polar Express. And this becomes the Polarity Express. I like that. That's a good effort, Jaxar. We're going to have a look at this in a moment. He said the puzzle's not too hard. Now, that's all very well and good for you to say that, Jaxar. We'll be the judge, won't we? We'll see how it is. But it's a very good picture of a Christmas tree. The rules are expressed. If you call up the link, the rules aren't as clear as we would make them. But if you look at the description field instead of for the video, the rules are as clear as I can get them there. So that will explain what they mean. But if you are familiar with odd circles, thermometers, cages, X's, green lines, orange lines, pink lines and blue lines, you will know what the rules are to this puzzle. But that does rely on you having seen a certain amount of Cracking the Cryptic material before, which I hope you have, but not everybody has. If you haven't, I will go through the rules before I attempt the puzzle. First of all, I've got a few announcements. So, Merry Christmas to everybody, first of all, who celebrates it. We wish you very well over this holiday period. And as I say, I'm going to have a go, not just at this today. I think I've got a couple more Christmas puzzles lined up. Let's hope they work out okay, otherwise you won't see them. What else have we got? We've got, first of all, I'm going to say very, very big thank you to my IT department, known as my teenage son, who has helped me set up my stack here. I'm hoping you can't hear the fan noise from the PC, not the PC, it is PC, from the PC. If you can, leave a comment. I've only got so much length of lead that I can do something with, so I'm not sure I can improve that a lot, but let me know if it's a real problem. I did a test and it sounded okay to me, but then I don't normally hear that fan noise on the videos that some people do complain about. So do let me know if you have a major problem with the sound on this video. I hope you don't have a major problem with the presentation. That looks okay to me. Maybe my head's a bit bigger than normal, but that's fine. Anyway, yeah, thanks to my son for helping me set it up. There was a Wi-Fi connection problem that was fixed with a dongle. I'm delighted that it was, otherwise it would have been tough to bring this to you. Or I'd have been on my old laptop with its definite fan noise problems. Anyway, that's enough about me for now. What is going on around the channel? Well, Marusha Dark, a longtime friend of the channel, has created a CTC bingo app. So I think the idea is you follow along one of our videos and you generate a bingo card and then tick off the boxes if we say 3 in the corner or something like that, or do one of our patented errors, or I don't know. Anyway, it's not the first time there's been a CTC bingo card created, but it's certainly the first time it's been done as an app. Marusha decided to kind of leave it to the community if they wanted to run competitions or something on Discord for it. I'm going to put the link to that app underneath the video in the description field and you can check it out there. Now, we also got another message from, this was a little while ago actually, a few days ago, we got a message from Uriel, also known as Shumdi, whose pet dog, whose best friend, sadly passed away this week, and he sent us a little passage about the dog, a very emotional passage. I shall read that at the end of the video, so stick around if you want to hear Uriel's thoughts about his dog Kelpy, who appears in a picture now. Yeah, sad news, clearly. It's always tough when a family member, especially a pet, maybe dies. No, probably the other way around, but anyway, it's always tough, and we do totally recognise that, and we wish everybody very well with all of their families and pets at this time. Now, what else have we got? We've got on Patreon, we are going to announce tomorrow, I believe, the winner of last month's Swipe Right puzzle hunt. So many people entered it. It was very popular. We are delighted with the comments and the reception, and thank you for the very kind things you've said. They're much appreciated. And we know that you'll be saying kind things about next month's hunt because it's by the Marvellous Blobs. It's a Lord of the Rings sequel or prequel, and there are plenty of puzzles and they are of a great standard. You are going to love it. So please join us on January the 1st on Patreon for that. That is for the paying Patreons. There's loads of great content on Patreon. It's well worth a tiny bit of investment. Sudoku hunts, solution videos, connections videos, crosswords, difficult long Sudoku solves, and extra content. So it's really a great place to visit. We sometimes call it the #1 puzzle club, and we believe it is. There's also, of course, all of our apps which feature Line Sudoku and Killer Sudoku and Domino Sudoku and Thermo Sudoku, all relevant to today. And Fog of War Sudoku is the latest one, and very good it is too. There's our merchandise. I am not sipping from a Cracking the Cryptic mug today, more a Christmas one. But there is our merchandise available on the links under the video, and SVEN'S Sudoku Pad, so do check all of those out. And do stay on at the end if you want to hear Uriel's tribute to Kelpy. Now, what are the rules of the Polarity Express? So, I will do the rules in our style. As I say, on the puzzle itself, if you call up the link, it just says the green tree outline is a German whisper, the orange tinsel is a Dutch whisper, etc., without explaining what those mean. So I will explain what those mean to you. So normal Sudoku rules apply. That's 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. And that is a regularity that I applaud. Adjacent digits on a green line, like those two, have a difference of at least 5. Adjacent digits on an orange line have a difference of at least 4. A pink line, whether this is pink or purple is up to you, but that's the line I'm talking about, contains a sequence of consecutive digits in any order. For a blue line, box borders divide the line into segments having equal sums. Along the brown thermo, digits increase from the bulb. A cage shows its sum, so those add up to 20. A V joins 2 digits which add up to 5, and an X joins 2 digits which add up to 10. Why is that so hard for me to say? I don't know. A red circle, whether it's on a line or not, is showing an odd digit, and those are the rules of the Polarity Express. Give it a try. I'm going to start. Oh, I'm just going to turn off the pen tool. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. Okay, so where do we begin? Okay, I'm going to tell you the 3 things I know about German whisper lines. One is 5 can never appear on them. So 5 in row 7 is on one of those cells. The next is that they alternate between digits higher than 5 and digits lower than 5. Otherwise, 2 consecutive digits would contain the same, well, they'd be too close together. So I'm very carefully going to try and highlight the alternating cells here. So that is one polarity. This is the Polarity Express after all. Those are either high or low digits. So this is either, yellow is either selected from 6, 7, 8, 9 or from 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll make the others red, and they are the other polarity. Now, polarity is one thing, parity is another. The next secret I'm going to share. Oh, I was also going to tell you about 4s and 6s. They are difficult to place on green lines in the sense that they cannot go in a cell where the 2 neighbours can see each other, because 4, for instance, only has one neighbour, which is 9, that it's allowed to sit next to. So this star at the top of the tree, this bauble up here, couldn't be a 4, even if it was allowed to be because of the odd digit rule, which it's not. But it couldn't be because those would both have to be 9, and they see each other in the same row and box this time. So that's important to know. I'm also going to share a secret with you about the sum of every row, column and box in a Sudoku. You may know this one. It's always 45 because that is the sum of the digits 1 to 9. Now, I can add up those cells, therefore, which add up to 30 and deduce that these three add up to 15. How do you make up 15 by alternating between high and low? If you had a 9 in the middle, you could have 4 and 2 on the outsides. But I don't think you could have 8 in the middle, because then the maximum digits you could have outside that are 3 and 2, which doesn't get you to 15. So if the central digit is high, it's a 9. If it's low, I think this may go the other way around. It may have to be a 1. If it was a 2, these would have to be at least 7 and 8. No, that's okay. That does add up to 15. But if it was a 3, they would have to be 8 or 9. So that is 1, 2 or 9. It's on an X with a digit that is 1, 9 or 8, therefore. I'm now going to change horses in midstream, because I got quite interested in what I was telling you about 6s and 4s. Oh no, okay, I can see that those two cannot be those monogamous digits 6 or 4, because, oh look, this is fine, sorry. Slow down, Mark, tell them what you're thinking. Right, firstly what I'm thinking is these are 4 yellow digits. That is all the yellow digits for the column. They are all concentrated in those digits. So what I was then wondering, can I work out where the 6 or 4 is? It can't be there because those two see each other. It can't be there because those two see each other. But actually it could be in either of these positions. However, what I'm now thinking about is, if yellow was large, if these were 6, 7, 8, 9, how are you going to make up the 13 cage in the same column? You've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left over. And the best you can do with 2 of those is add them up to 9. So yellow is low. And I'm going to convert yellow to blue to recognize that. This is thermometer based. Sort of blue is cold for low. So anyway, orange is hot and high, and that is now the high digit that I worked out had to be a 9. Let me just check that. If that was 8, the highest these could be are 3 and 2. That doesn't get up to 15. So that is a 9. That's a 1. Right. Oh, hang on. This is going to have to be a 9 as well, which is impossible. No, it's not. It's okay. I'm being silly. These don't add up to 30 like those do. These only add up, these add up further to 33. That means these have to add up to 12. Now, if that was a 7, it would have to be flanked by 1 and 2. If it was a 6, there aren't 2 low digits that are different that could flank it. So that is an 8, and it must be flanked by 1 and 3. And on their X's, we have 7 and 9. Now that we know those blues are 1 and 3, these blues are 2 and 4, which I could have worked out and probably did work out earlier. When that was 9, it was going to be surrounded by 2 and 4. And they add up to 15, which is exactly the sum we wanted. That is 6 or 8. In a 13 cage, that goes with 7 or 5. This group of cells is now 5, 6, 7. The one on the odd circle is not 6. This in the 13 cage is 6 or 4. Now, there's a 4 in one of these blue cells. Remember, we've got all 4 highlighted in this column. Oh, I've messed up. Oh no, I've only failed to mark those green cells. Sorry, they should have been orange. I don't know how I managed to do that. I just missed it out. Anyway, corrected now. Anyway, I was going to say 4 has to appear in one of these. It can't be there because both of those would be 9. It can't be there because both of those would be 9. It is here. And now both cells that it does touch are 9s on the line, which puts one into this unnecessary red bauble here. Right, the other digits are 1, 2 and 3. Now this can't be 4 in this column, and those two couldn't have been before for the same sorts of reasons. So that is the 4 in the column. That's a 2, this is 6, that's 7. This is a 358 group, and this isn't too hard to get going with, which is great news. That is a 1, 2, 3 set. Now, I talked to you about alternation on a green line and how they go high, low, high, low, high, low. On an orange line, things change slightly. And that's really important here. The only way in which they can change, in which an orange line doesn't rigorously alternate between high and low, is if if a 5 gets involved on the line. And if that 5 is surrounded by 1 and 9, then you've changed the alternation. You've kind of gone high, middle, low, and then you go high, low again until you hit another 5. Anyway, the point is that this would be going orange, blue, if there wasn't a 5 on it. So there must be a 5 on it, because it doesn't do that pattern. It goes orange, something, something, orange. Well, only one of these can be blue. And in fact, this digit is high, but it's not 9. So that is 6, 7, or 8. This digit now cannot be 9, 8, 7, 6, or 5, and therefore it is low. And if you work out the differences between all of those possibilities, you'll see why I say that. It's not allowed to be a 4 because of Sudoku. So that is 1, 2, or 3. But how are we going to put a digit here that can touch 9 on that side and 1, 2, 3 on that side? This is our magic 5 that does the change in polarity. That has to be a 1 now, and this is not a 1 here. Right, so this can't be a 5. This pair, by the way, this has been available from the beginning. This is 1 or 2 on the bulb and 3 or 4 on the next cell, because they add up to 5. And they have to be in ascending order on the thermo. Now, what else have we got going on? These are from 6, 7, 8. I suppose I might as well mark these as from 6, 7, 8. And we've got the pink line. Right, this line is a Renban. It has 5 consecutive digits, not necessarily in the normal order. It's got 4 on it, and it's got a lower number on it. But it cannot have a 1 on it, because that 1 sees all the cells on the line. It does have 2 or 3, so it must have 3 on the line somewhere. It might be in that cell, but if that's a 2, 3 must be here somewhere. And that would definitely be a 1, and that would definitely be a 2, which is interesting, but it's definitely got 3. It definitely doesn't have 1. So it's either 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's always got 5 and 6 on the line. So they must be in these cells. And that means 6 cannot sit there, where it couldn't have sat anyway if I'd thought about these two. But anyway, it can't be, it is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the other digit here with 5 or 6 could be any out of 2, 3, or 7. That's not quite as helpful as I wanted. That 2 can't sit next to a 6. So now I've got a 7, 8 pair in the column, which restricts that. If that was 6, this would be 7. These two add, well, they've got a 6 in them because it's not in that cell. So they either add up to 11 or 13. And therefore these two add up to 11 or 13. But this digit can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's at least 5. So I'm going to put 5, 6, and 7 as the possibilities to make these two add up to either 11 or 13. Oh, and the 1, 2, 3, 4 quad there makes this a 6. I hadn't seen that. So that's a 6, that's a 7, that's a 9. That sorts out 1 and 3. Now I can take 3 out of those cells, and I can take 7 and 6 out of this. This is a 5. going with an even digit to make it add up to either 11 or 13. But it could still go 8, 5, 6, 7 pair. Right, in this column we've got 8 and 9 still to come. Oh, I ended up with a 6, 7, 8 triple, which I didn't realise I'd done here. Right, the other digits in the box are 1, 2, 3, 4. This one can't be 4 or 2 because it's odd, because it's a bauble. If it was 3, it would be surrounded by 8 and 9, which it's not, so it's a 1. That fixes the bulb at the bottom, at the other end of the puzzle. That's a 2 going with a 3. That's not a 3 now. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. This is a 1, 9 pair. In fact, they are, we know where they are, given those, and I was deducing it was a 1, 9 pair because of those two cells. That's a 4, 8 pair. This becomes 5. Box 9 is finished, and that's a 2. We have a 4 and a 5 to place. That 8 long ago gave, I don't know, how long have I been sitting here going, oh, this is 6 or 8? It's obviously not 8, sorry. That's a 6, so they add up to 11, so that's a 5 and that's a 6, and we get 7 in the bauble. Now we can place 7 in box 2, and this puzzle is coming together quite quickly. 2 and 3 are looking up to the top, 4 there. 6, 3, 2. That is not 5 or 6. Which are now a pair in these cells. The 6, 8 pair is telling me that. This group is 7, 8 and 9. I don't think you could put 8 or 9 on this line because then you'd need a 7 on it, and that couldn't happen. So that digit is 7. This is odd, that's 9. This is 8. That has fixed 7 and 8 if nothing else had. What have we got? 2, 3 and 4 still to place in box 5. Those now add up to 10, 11 or 12. Well, we're going to need at least 7 here then. And it can't be 7 or 8, so that's a 9. And now this also adds up to 10, 11 or 12. We've got 2, 4, 5, 6 to place in that column. Oh, 1 can't go in any of those cells in box 4, so that's fixed. This is now not a 1. This is a 2, 3 pair, and that is a 1, which was obvious because 6 was coming off one of the green lines. This is a 5, 8 pair at the top, and that's giving me an 8 X-wing. I'm using up the 2 8s in rows 1 and 2 between these two columns. So that's not 8. That's 6. That's not 2 or 5 now. That's not 4, nor is that. 8, 7, 9, 1, 3. That's a 2, 3 pair, so that's not 2 either. That's a 2, 3 pair as well. So the 8, 7 in this row go in those two cells. And this must be 6, and that's 5. And this is a 3, 7, 9 triple. 1 and 4 there is all done. 2, 3 pair still to place in column 1. That is a naked single, by which I mean it sees 3 of the Sudoku digits in its row and 5 others in its column, and therefore there's only one possible digit here, which is 5. That sorts out box 7 entirely. 6 and 7 are a pair there. They might be disambiguatable at the moment. That's where 1 goes in box 1. With 3 and 4 flanking it. Now, can I use the 2, 3 pair? Yes, I can. It gets rid of 2 there, 3 there, and importantly, 3 in this cell, which becomes a 4. That's a 3. Now I can place 4 in row 3. That's, I can finish row 3. And lots of this is coming together now. That's a 6, that's a 2, 9 and 8, 5 and 8. I think I'm going to be coming down. Well, no, hang on. I've still got this blue line to resolve. 11 or 12. So 2 is not possible here. Oh, 8 has resolved that that's a 4. Now, since I did that, this has to be a 3. I can do these columns, and then I can probably finish off box 6 and box 4, which remains. There's not much left to do. In fact, either Sudoku or adding up this line will do it, and they both give the same result, which is always a relief. And there we go. That is the palette. Let's get rid of the colouring before I hit the last digit. There we go. And this finishes us with a 2. Merry Christmas, as is exactly the message from the correct solution. So very Merry Christmas to you all. Thanks to Jaxar for sending that. Not too taxing today, I'm delighted to say. And that definitely gives me time to read Uriel's dedication to Kelpy. And Uriel says this: to my little baby boy Kelpy, from the day of your birth, life was musical. That day God spoke new life into you, and through you into me. Every time you let out even the slightest sound, the angels danced to your song. Every time you slept, the heavens watched over you and held their breath. Every time you cried and were troubled, God himself wept. As you grew, the song too developed, at times loud and at others soft. Some parts raced past the fastest heartbeat, and others tugged peacefully at the heartstrings. Through it all there were melodies and harmonies that bested even those of King David. To me it was all the most beautiful music. Your life to me was a gift. Now may your memory be a blessing and a gift to all the world. The world we imagined we'd conquer and explore together. Perhaps none other than us will ever know of all of our plans and dreams. Perhaps none will truly understand the feeling of this separation between us now. Perhaps none will fully grasp our own connection. See, I was you and you were me. We understood each other so well that we knew we'd get through life together because we're both special. I didn't realise that for part of that journey you'd be only in spirit. Still, I know I must not move on, but must move forward. I will still conquer the world with you. When the rain falls, I'll know that I don't cry alone. When I hear the winds howling, I'll remember your musical tones. And when I feel the sun's golden embrace, I'll know you've returned to visit home. Thanks very much, and bye for now.